Hi dear investors, I'm Maria Starodub presenting a weekly review of the crypto market from August 17th until August 23rd. The market capitalization of all crypto assets has shrunk to $1.05 trillion for the last week. Almost 90% of Bitcoin holders have incurred heavy losses. The US Securities and Exchange Commission has not passed its long-awaited verdict yet against Grayscale Investments, defying expectations. The company has been suing the Securities and Exchange Commission since June last year, after the Commission chose to block the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust from becoming an ETF. If approved, ETF shareholders could earn on Bitcoin price rallies without buying the token directly at special crypto platforms. We can make a conclusion about Bitcoin's efficiency looking at the related events 2 years ago. Back in time, the Commission green-lighted the first Bitcoin ETF. It was launched by companies ProShares and Invesco. The permission was obtained in October and the flagship cryptocurrency skyrocketed to an all-time high of $68,000 in November. However, the cryptocurrency in the US is in disgrace nowadays. That's why the court delayed its verdict against the lawsuit by Grayscale indefinitely. By the way, according to the Wall Street Journal, 16 applications for spot crypto funds are on the table with the Securities and Exchange Commission waiting for its approval. However, US watchdogs and prosecutors seem to see slightly different path for the situation. They are joining forces to crack down on all crypto players who they believe are violating US securities laws. In fact, it does not mean at all that there are no real crimes in the crypto industry. For example, Nathaniel Chastain, a former employee of the OpenSea trading platform, was accused this week of using confidential information for personal benefit. By a court decision, he was found guilty of committing a crime that prosecutors called the first-ever scheme for insider trading in digital assets. During his tenure, the scammer placed certain tokens on the company's homepage, thereby helping to inflate their prices. He will spend the next 3 months in jail on charges of money laundering and other illegal activities. Former head of the FTX crypto exchange Sam Bankman-Fried also went to jail barely 2 months ahead of his trial on 7 different charges. Besides, among those accused of insider asset trading was Richard Hart, the founder of the crypto companies Hex and Pulse Chain. American regulators also spotted the head of Binance crypto exchange, Changpeng Zhao. On this wave, the court also approved an interlocutory appeal by the US Securities and Exchange Commission in the case against Ripple. In this context, the buzz regarding the news about the possible launch of a spot Bitcoin ETF in the US has already faded away. Of the last week, most crypto assets suffered losses. Dismal news on legal actions set the stage for massive selling. After a few weeks of sluggish trading and a low trading volume, the crypto market is again trading with a high volatility. As a result, digital assets slumped on Thursday in a few minutes. Nothing could halt this nosedive. Bitcoin plunged to 25,166, a multi-month low. The token fell by 12% for the week from August 17. The crypto began that week at the level above the round resistance at 29,000 and finished the week at about 26,500. The most realistic scenario is that short-term crypto owners will continue selling. Though we could assume that Bitcoin might have bottomed out at 27,000, it's too early to speak about the end of the downtrend. If the low of June at 24,750 is broken, it would entail a lower decline and the bearish power. For the time being, there are more fundamentals for Bitcoin's fall than its growth. Oddly, Elon Musk was involved in Bitcoin's slump in the middle of the week. The number one crypto took a nosedive following the news that SpaceX began selling its Bitcoin holdings. Eventually, the information was not true. Still, the news sparked a sell-off, and other negative events also added fuel to the fire. The strong U.S. economic data prompted speculations that the Federal Reserve could increase the funds rate higher. The Fed's minutes and comments by Fed's policymakers were also hawkish. As a result, investors rushed to withdraw their funds from risky assets, seeking shelter in safe haven assets such as the US dollar, treasuries, and gold. In turn, yields of 10-year treasuries jumped to their highest level since 2007 and topped 4.3%. For your reference, the yields did not surpass 0.6% in 2020. Besides, Bitcoin is always vulnerable to annual summits in Jackson Hole. The leaders of central banks make public remarks to signal changes in monetary policy. No wonder the crypto markets locked in the bear trend is worried about speech by Jerome Powell. For the last 4 years, Bitcoin price inevitably went down after the keynote speech by the Fed's chair at the symposium in Jackson Hole. Another headwind is that traders are looking at China with apprehension. The world's second largest economy is hurt by the crisis as a debt-laden developers. In addition, Beijing is taking artificial measures to support the weak yen through selling its dollar reserves. That's why nobody is willing to enter the stock and crypto markets. On the contrary, cryptocurrencies are being sold amid global risk aversion. For this reason, Bitcoin had failed to recover to the key psychological level of 30,000. If Jerome Powell again sends a hawkish message, Bitcoin could fall sharply in response. For Litecoin, Black Thursday was on August 17th, was even harder than for the flagship crypto. Litecoin collapsed by 24% after the token reached a one-year peak at $113. The price of one of the oldest crypto assets tumbled twice to $56, deeper than the low of 2023. Even a fresh halving did not give a helping hand to Litecoin. After August 2nd, the network adjustment increased the rarity of the asset, but its price actually decreased. This was partly due to the fact that the miners began to sell their stocks. The volume of large transactions also fell noticeably. However, the number of long-term holders of Litecoin continues to grow, and the market demand for coins significantly exceeds the supply. Litecoin price is currently consolidating around the support at 65.5. Considering that support has been holding for 430 days, a rebound or a breakout of this level will help Litecoin determine its further trend. No doubt, the delayed ruling of the US regulator on applications for spot ETFs dampened sentiment in the crypto industry. As a result, the outflow of the funds from Bitcoin-related investment products measured $42 million last week. The opposite process unfolded a week ago. As a result, investors injected almost $27 million in crypto assets. The second largest cryptocurrency looks less gloomy. The outflow of funds from Ether amounted to $9 million. On August 17th and 18th, stop losses of crypto buyers were activated as a result of a massive sell-off. So they incurred losses of $302 million as they're on their long positions. At the same time, investors opened record-high short positions on Ether since November 2022. Experts discovered a similar situation on the Binance crypto platform amid the crash of FTX, the company of Sam Bankman-Fried, in mid-November last year. At the end of August this year, the crypto market is crippled by more than one reason. The native token of Ripple Labs plunged to a greater degree than Bitcoin and Ether. The token sank by 15% for the last week. Technical indicators warn of a further decline. After almost 3 years of the court proceedings between the company and the American regulator, the victory turned out dubious, and the story itself is far from over. Now Ripple Labs is starting a new round of the fight, aiming to acknowledge the status of a security for its native digital token. Meanwhile, the token remains under pressure as the lawsuit is still going on. There is no doubt that the court's approval of the interlocutory appeal could lead to a retrial and a victory for the regulator. If the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission can prove that XRP is an illegally issued security, the fate of other cryptocurrencies will also be in jeopardy. Until the matter is resolved, investors' interest in the asset remains at a consistently high level. The price of the coin rented in sync with other peers in the sector. Then the Ripple token moved to a moderate consolidation around the level of 0.53. Some experts tend to attribute the decline in Ripple price to psychology and pure correction, which have nothing to do with fundamental factors. Still, savings of some whales on large coin holders can already be called fundamentals. Interestingly, the significant jump was recorded among addresses holding 100 million to 1 billion Ripple tokens. On August 18th, these whales amassed about 30% of all Ripple tokens in their wallets. The intervention triggered a rally in the XRP price by 4%. All in all, Bitcoin and other crypto assets traded without notable changes last week. Since their slump on August 18th, market quotes rose slightly as investors are cautious ahead of the summit in Jackson Hole. We will discuss the effect of the summit produced on the crypto markets in the next video. Our net review will be released on the final day of summer, August 31st. Welcome to leave your comments and see you later.